In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows, look, we all want to talk well, we all want to become a good conversationalist, and that is something really very important for a human being. One thing which we do ignore is that is learning to ask a very good question. Learning to ask a good question. Believe me or not, it's not any way lesser important than being a good conversationalist, or at least it is also very very important, and does reflect the kind of person we ourselves are, asking a question, asking the right sort of question, especially in the case of an interview. This interview does not mean that we are recording it for the sake of television, even if at all we are meeting somebody. We want to ask certain questions of personal nature so that we are able to understand them better. So that is something we need to know what sort of those questions will be. For that purpose, we have chosen this topic to discuss upon it. And like always, we have decided to include a very useful and beneficial article on the subject as well. This article has been developed by a renowned researcher and author, Brendan Brown. Brendan Brown is a well-known researcher and author, and his article, and that is 20 questions, 20 questions to be asked if at all you want to know somebody better. 20 questions to be asked. So what are those 20 questions actually? And for the sake of interviewing someone else, interviewing interview of a personal nature, not on the politics, not on the social matter, not on the economics, religion, or whatever, but on the personal nature. So that is really important. 20 questions. And what are those 20 questions? First of all, asking a very general, very broader question, that is, what's your story? What's your story? And wait what this someone else does reply. Wait what someone else does reply in response to this first very broad question, what's your story? And then the next question is, what are you passionate about? What are your passionate? What are your passion? What are your passions? What are you passionate about? That's another important question to be asked if at all we are interviewing someone else about the personal life of somebody. The third is, what's the best book you have read very now? Mean, look, as for the Eastern society is concerned, the people are not very used to of reading the books once they are out of the educational institution. But as for the Western world is concerned, they love to read, and they think that the reading is by far the most important thing in their life. One of the most important. They keep reading throughout their life. So this question is about what is the best book you have read in the recent days. And the fourth question to be asked in an interview of personal nature, what the biggest challenge you are facing right now? So before that is really important in the sense, also we need to know that everyone else in this world is found facing challenges almost at every stage, at several stages of their life. So if at all we are facing any sort of challenge, so it does not mean that we are an absolute failure. It does not mean that we are very unlucky one. It does not mean that the society or someone else has been careless and cruel with us. It actually means that the life itself is full of challenges. So this question to be asked in an interview of personal nature, what's the biggest challenge you are facing right now? The fifth question, how do you spend your time? This is again a question of very broad nature. How do you spend your time? This is, a person can say anything. There are plenty of things which a person is trying to do, but maybe here somebody has to ask, what I do so frequently. to pass my time, to spend my time. Or maybe it is about how do you spend your free time, once you have nothing to do. So, what are your pastimes? So, the sixth question to be asked is, what's the most interesting thing you have learned recently? What's the most important thing? What's the most important thing you have learned recently? We keep learning throughout our life, and of course, some of these things are very interesting one. And here, the questioner, the interviewer, or we can ask that what's the most important thing you have learned these days, these weeks and months. And the seventh question to be asked is, what was the highlight of your year? What was the highlight of your year? Mean again, it is somewhat bright. What was the most important thing you have done in the recent past, in the past few months, or maybe in a year? What was your highlight of the year? What was your highlight of the year? And now it is the eighth question to be asked is, if you could bring back to life three dead people, who would they be? If at all you are asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that recommend three people, and the three people who are not alive today, and I will give them the life again, who will these three people be? And this is again a very interesting question. Ninth question, number nine is, what's something you have what's something you have always wanted to do but haven't succeeded in doing yet? What's something you have always wanted to do but haven't yet succeeded in doing that? That is another important question. What really important? What's something you have always wanted to do but haven't succeeded in doing yet? So that was the question number 9. Number 10, what's something you wish people knew about you? What is there which you wanted the people to know about you? And what is the, obviously it will be a sort of highlight about your personality. And the previous question was, what's something you have already always wanted to do but haven't succeeded in doing that now, till now? I mean all the people, we are struggling to do certain things but we haven't yet succeeded in doing that. What is that, by the way? Now the 11th question is, can you recommend a good book you read in the past? Can you recommend me a good book you read in the past? Again, Western world loves to read a lot. So that was the question earlier too. There was a question that what good book did you read recently? And here, can you recommend a good book, the best book you ever read in your past? What was the best book you ever read in the past? And now the next and the 12th question is, and have you picked up any new skill or hobbies recently? As I am always looking for new ideas. What you picked up any new skill or hobbies recently? As I am always looking for new ideas. We need to keep learning. We need to keep improving our life. We need to keep adopting the new hobbies as well. We need to keep learning the new skill. That is really important, and that makes us a better human being. That keeps our life more and more better one. So we should never stop learning. We should always keep learning the new interesting items on the one hand, and also that we need to at any moment in our life, at any stage in our life, if at all we think that I need to adopt this hobby, I think that we should be ready for that. Because even if at all we think that I am too late, is too late, I think there is nothing too late. At any time we can start a new hobby, whatever we love doing. Okay, so the next is, uh, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? If at all there is one thing again asked to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that this time select one thing and I will give you 100% success in that. You have no chance of failure at all. You will be succeeding 100% in that. What that thing would be and why? That's another important, useful, interesting question. You know, now the 14th question is, do you have a personal motto or a quote that you are trying to live by? Do you have a personal motto or a quote that you live by? Do you have a personal quote? Do you have a personal motto or quote that you are trying to live by? We all of us should have a motto. All of us should have, you know, a very important cause in our life, and we should always try. It doesn't mean necessarily that we need to become an altruistic person. Nobody can become an altruistic person. We can do so partially, but not totally, obviously. But we must have a kind of motto or a a motto or a quote we should be trying to live by. And still, the 15th question is, if you could have dinner with any person, who would it be and why? I mean, again, if you are allowed, it is a kind of wish that if at all you are asked that ask for a dinner with one person, who this one person would be and why? You know, if at all, you know, the next 16th question is, what one thing you learned about yourself totally? What one thing you learned about yourself totally? And today, what one thing you learned about yourself today? Mean, we keep learning about ourselves as well throughout our life. It's not like, we keep learning about the world, about other people, and about the life in general. Not only that, rather, as far our own life is concerned, we keep learning the new thing. We keep learning the new thing throughout our life, and that is what one thing you learned about yourself today or recently. The 17th question is, what was the turning point in your life? Some of the points in our life are the turning point, and we need to know what are these turning points. And obviously, these are unforgettable, and for that reason, we can ask a question, what was the turning point in your life? And the 18th question is, what a cause or what a cause or an organization you feel strongly about? Is there a cause or an organization you are so deeply attached with them, you are so passionate about them? If at all, is there anything, any cause or organization? Please do tell us. And the 19th question is, what's something you have done that you are really proud of? What's something you have done that you are really proud of? Obviously, there are certain things which we are proud of that we have done it, and what is that thing? Again, everybody wants that their successes or their good deeds be publicized and be known by the people. So that is a sort of question here. And the 20th question is, what's something you are grateful for? Obviously, we must be grateful about several things, not just one thing. But here, the interviewer, as an interviewer and as a questioner, which can ask somebody what you are most grateful of in your life. So that was something very interesting article, very useful article indeed, and that is becoming an interviewer and asking the question of personal nature. The asking about one person, not about the politics, not about the finance, about the sociology, religion, economy, or anything else. Rather, it is about yourself, and really very important, very good interview. And we can become a good interviewer. We can ask the questions like this one from the people. Thank you.